I can't see you. No, I literally can't see you. You can see me, but I can't see you. At Delish Deli, grabbing a bit of food real quick. We're gonna be heading off to run some errands for Delish Deli and more, so come along. Time to go find the car. So on our way to the Good Cup to get some more coffee beans. No matter how many I buy, they seem to keep running out. You a coffee drinker or a tea drinker? Tell me in the comments below. So I've been getting more and more messages from you guys out there. I know a lot of you want to, of course, stupid Google's gonna talk. Quiet Google, we got a vlog. A lot of you are wondering when things will open up here, and I gotta say that's one of the challenges, is that the Philippines hasn't shared any information for people that want to come over here, either as a tourist, on vacation, or for people that want to move here. I'm hoping that things open up soon, but I gotta be honest, I've really given up any hope of guessing at a date when things might open back up again. I know for me, I'm really looking forward to being able to do a trip back to California for a few weeks to be able to see family and friends and some of our clients there. But I also look forward to when I'm able to travel around the Philippines more. I've only been a few places since I've been here, even though I've lived here more than a year now. And I'd really love to see a lot more of the islands and some of the other cities there. Let me know if you've traveled to the Philippines. Where's your favorite place that you've been? So I've been seeing a lot more YouTube videos that are like Jollibee versus KFC. I don't know if you've heard of Jollibee before, but in the Philippines it's as popular as McDonald's. It's basically everywhere here, and it's starting to show up a lot more in the US. I know when I lived in California, there was just a few different locations that I saw, and it was mostly by Mang Inasal or Red Ribbon or some other Filipino brands that have started making their way more and more out to the US. But if you haven't tried Jollibee, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat much meat, but a lot of people say that Jollibee is a lot better than KFC, so I'd be curious if any of you have tried both of them. Let me know which one's your favorite. So back to the Good Cup. Let's grab some coffee real quick. I'm gonna check out what we're gonna get. Hi, how are you? What are you gonna get, secret cameraman?
Beans.
They're the magical fruit.
Churrado.
Nice choice. Let me get 1 kilo.
Sidamo 1 kilo.
So I went with Sidamo today. We'll check it out. I've heard a lot of great things about it. And as always, free cup of coffee. Let's keep going. Trying to figure out how to use the camera on my own for a little bit for the first time today. Turn down the air conditioning so you could hear stuff. So it's probably a little bit loud. Anyhow, trying to figure out the autofocus and a million other things. Let me know how I'm doing. You know, I've had this channel for about 6 months or so now, and I really want to get to know who's watching more, who you are. So if you haven't already left a comment, or if we haven't already talked on Facebook or somewhere else, I'd love it if you would leave a comment below and let me know where you're watching from and what you get most out of this channel. It's really a privilege being able to live over here now at this time, but life as an expat, life as a foreigner has its own set of challenges as well. Have you ever lived in another country? You know, for you and I, if we jump in the ocean and we start swimming, we really notice we're in a different environment. We notice we're in water because it's impossible to breathe. But for fish, it's just another day in the ocean. Moving to the Philippines or to another country is a lot like that. If you come from another culture and then you step out of the airplane and you find yourself surrounded by other people that look like you perhaps, or kind of like you, right? They're other human beings, but that's maybe just the only thing you have in common. There's so much to culture while living in another country that truly takes time to learn and adjust to, and to really start to think about alternative ways of looking at the same exact thing. Is this person from America or something? Whenever I hear honking drivers, I know they're probably expats. I'm guilty of it myself here a little bit as well, because Filipinos tend to be pretty patient drivers. Crazy, but patient. It's always so busy before getting ready to hop on a plane and travel somewhere, especially overseas, or at least that's always been my experience. And whenever I get on the plane, I'm finally able to just kind of sit there for a moment and gather my thoughts and really take in just the feeling of, this is another chapter in my life. This is another big change. This is, you know, something that once I step off that plane, my life will forever be changed. What I didn't expect is that 3 months after moving here, the pandemic would happen. I noticed that the way Filipinos react to challenges in life, seeing the way that they go through those tragedies, and then comparing that to my own culture in the US, which was debating whether or not people should wear masks in public, and, you know, a lot of other things that really people here didn't have the luxury to debate those things. They were just trying to make it through very real struggles in life. And I think that was one of my first highlights of living in another culture and seeing how dramatically different my own culture compared to Philippines culture would handle something like the pandemic. And I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned. So we made it up to Busay area. I always love to get out of the city and see a new area around here. So come with me, let's go check it out. Not a bad view, right? Sorry if you hear all of the noise in the background. They're doing a bit of construction here. I had hoped to be able to travel so much more, but with the pandemic, I've really been stuck inside a lot more. So one of my favorite things to do is to head up in the mountains here just outside of Cebu City as often as possible. See a bit of green, see a bit of trees, see a bit of mountains, and breathe the fresh air. So one of the other things about the Philippines is a lot of people come here thinking that the cost of living is gonna be really low, and it certainly can be. It depends how you decide to live here. You could either live in one of the houses like these that are quite expensive, beautiful, up on a hilltop, or you could live in places that are maybe $100 US a month. So there's a huge difference, obviously, between where you live, what you're gonna get, the amount of space, how safe it is, how comfortable it is, whether it has air conditioning or not, but there's definitely something in the Philippines for every budget. So another thing to get used to living in the Philippines is noise. Right now, I could hear a saw going, I could hear a dog barking. A short time ago, I heard roosters, and Bon Jovi is cranked up by the people over here pretty loud. You know, if you're a foreigner living in the Philippines, noise is a way of life. So depending on where you live, it's gonna be quieter or noisier. You know, a lot of people, one of the reasons why they'll spend more on a condo or something that's a little bit more remote on an island is because you could control the noise a little bit more. You don't have video karaoke going loud until 3 a.m. in the morning. But I think that here, things like noise is taken a lot differently than many places where you might leave. So if you're considering moving here, think about the noise because it takes a while to get used to. It is hot today. It was raining earlier, but you could really feel the heat sometimes. Once the rain stops and the sun comes back out, you really feel it. Let's go back in the air conditioning. Rover's taking in the views. Smart dog. So back at the office now. Time to drop off some of the coffee beans at Delish Deli. Thanks, Kuya. Here's some more beans from the good cat. Take care. So one of the other things about life here for me as an expat is having a business here. When I first came here, I just planned on starting Purple Cow Agency, and then as the pandemic went on, we started Delish Deli here as well. So many other expats come here and they're retired, and so they don't have to think about working each day and different things like that. And so I think my experience as an expat in the Philippines is quite a lot different than a lot of other expats here who are living the life that I look forward to living in the next 10 or 20 or so years once I'm able to finally retire. But work and work culture is a lot different in the Philippines as well. There's a lot of other videos that I've spoken about this topic on, and I'd encourage you to look at some of my playlists if you're interested about starting a business in the Philippines. We just thought we got some quiet here. That saw stopped, and now we got the one there. Welcome to life in the Philippines. I'm so happy to be here with all of the craziness, with the pandemic, with everything new to get used to, with the roosters and the dogs and the saws and the everything here. There's still nowhere else that I'd rather be than right here in the Philippines. As always, thank you for taking time to listen, and take care.